Hello folks, and welcome to another Bitcoin market analysis. Today it's the Saturday edition. That means just due the fact that it's weekend, low volume, usually we will have a very quick overview. I don't think we will see some big option trades, for example. So even weights ratio changes over the weekends, as mentioned, just because of the low volume. However, it's going to be a very exciting weekend, I guess, because nobody really knows what's going to happen. I mean, I'm longing since yesterday with an entry of 20,900 because I was expecting just a little bounce. We'll see if that's going to be such kind of dead cat bounce or not. In my opinion, as you can see, that's Bitcoin USDT pair on Binance right now. And if we check at the moment what's happening, they are waiting at the moment at 21,500, even at 21,700, and finally at 22. So in my opinion, all three are there and waiting, not exactly just to limiting the way up, but much more to break a little bit, but expecting right now that we will go up. At least this one should be one that they want just to trigger. Even maybe this one, and then the 22 one should be the last one. We need to see. In my opinion, at the moment, I'm not convinced that we are done. Not saying we will go and make new lows. Maybe a retest, just maybe a retest of our current low at 18 could be. We'll check everything today, and so we will be well prepared for the whole weekend. Tonight at in 3 hours actually, I will make, as every Saturday, a quick Q&A. So the idea behind is you check my analysis. If you have any questions, you can make your questions then in my Q&A. I can reply to you and we can have a quick interaction. That's the whole thing behind the Q&A. Well, I would say let's start, and we go directly to the weights ratio as mentioned, low volume. So even 19th, so even the 18th the weights ratio declined, even the 19th even more, so that was yesterday. However, as we are using here the 30 days moving average, it doesn't look at the moment here, so it's not illustrated yet. Should happen. I mean, 18th, yes, and you can see the angle just declined a little bit, but in my opinion, over the weekend, if they are not going to start to send more bitcoins to the exchanges, it should start to decline. Let us go forward, and we can see what's happening here. First of all, the first thing I can see here is at the moment the weights ratio maintains 88. And usually, if you're checking and watching my analysis every day, everything below of 90 is okay. It gives us the opportunity to live up. At 88 means it's okay, I would expect, and as you see, we are right now just creating this channel. We know what can happen afterwards, right? We go up, then maybe down, and yeah, but usually that should happen in the night. So they like to bring some price action on weekends from Saturday to Sunday, or from Sunday to Monday, when even in the US, for example, also the first asset starts to be active, like SPX and DXY. However, so if we take a look to the weights ratio 30 hours moving average, we were lifting up, then declined, then lifting up, and now declining. So you see how it correlates. While it was lifting up, the price was dumping. While it starts to decline, the price goes up again. So it shows you very well that the market is really in hands of a few big volume actors, those who have a lot of bitcoins and can, yeah, just drive the price. If we check the stablecoin supply, it's declining more and more and more, and that's absolutely not bullish at all. Absolutely not bullish, because that means we have less stablecoins, so less liquidity to buy, for example, Bitcoin, or absorb those Bitcoins who are going to be dumped. If we check, for example, the stablecoins and reserves on centralized exchanges, it lifted up. This was those 3.6 billion US dollars in stablecoins to derivative exchanges. It lifted up even a little bit more, and then it started to decline. So nothing big happening here, and let us go and check what's happening to the flow activity. Well, if we check here, for example, we also see very good that they are taking profit. So they took profit here, that was really big, and you can see that here as well. Since then, nothing, really nothing. The market, we did here 170, let me see, 170 millions in stablecoins outflow. Also, nothing big related to inflows. The biggest one was yesterday with 23 million, so that's absolutely peanuts. And some bigger Bitcoin inflows, of course, but also that just absolutely flat. So today the max was 220 Bitcoins, and right now is the biggest for today with 270 Bitcoins. So absolutely not big at all. And it should give us enough opportunity to lift up. All right, so even here 47 millions in stablecoin outflows, absolutely nothing big at all. Even here also to the Bitcoin outflows, nothing, very flat, but that's nothing special because that's weekend. Let us go forward. So I have refreshed the site. Let us see. Well, first of all, the funding rate, you remember, declined, lifted up, declined, lifted up, declined hard, and right now it seems it wants to lift up again. Problem, the leverage ratio is also rising, and we know that's absolutely not cool. It's coming back to the level, I mean, it's hitting at least the level we had before we nuked, before we had this big dump. So yeah, I mean, leverage ratio is what it is, and you can see what's doing at the moment. While the open interest maintains relatively low, so they, with this nuke, they liquidated a lot, and we will check that also. I mean, the open interest is lifting up, but not big at all. Not, it was very nice at a very nice level, and they liquidated a lot of people. Also here, for example, related to stablecoin inflows, let me see, 90 millions here. It's always to derivative, 170 millions here, 160 millions here, and so on and so forth. And we have those 3.6 billion. That was huge, really huge, but since then, I don't know, nothing happened. However, if we check here, Bitcoin activity related to derivatives, 8,000 Bitcoins here, and then almost 12,000 Bitcoins outflows. Wow, that's also big. 1,600 here, 1,800 here. That was everything yesterday. Yesterday, a lot of things happened, it seems. A lot of outflows here. And the inflow right now, 940 Bitcoins, and at the same time, outflows of 1,400 Bitcoins. Nothing big at all. So, as usual, weekend volume maintains low. And that's a big problem, because we also know that that means they can well, I mean, do whatever they want. They can just, they can push the price down or just push it up with low volume, no problem. So if we check, for example, this chart here, it demonstrates very well what happened. Here the price started to decline very hard until here. Look what happened, for example, with the leverage ratio and with the open interest. I will disable the funding rate. And you can see what happened. They crashed both, right? I mean, it also correlates very well with the price. Look that. That's what it happened. And afterwards, like nothing happened, open interest up, leverage ratio up. Now let us check what the aggregated funding rate, estimated funding rate is doing. It's declining. Usually that means they are now just demanding more shorts. So for the next step, we will take a look to Blockchain Whispers. Some people are asking me if Blockchain Whispers is really that accurate. Well, Blockchain Whispers is not doing anything. Blockchain Whispers is using the Binance provided data. It's one-to-one really the Binance data. You can have access to this data via API. The only thing that they did is to multiply the open interest with the long short ratio. That's absolutely everything. So extremely trivial. And I mean, why not? Why not? That's a nice approach, to be honest. So, and let me just refresh the website in case of, but in my opinion, yeah. You can see shorts declined even more. We are even below of 800 millions now, while yes, we have 300 millions less in longs, but still 1.6 billions. We have here still just a long short ratio between 67 and 33. That's extremely bearish in my opinion, and I think everything is a combination of what happened. First of all, we had a lot of high leverage positions. Then we had a lot of longs because of many FOMO spreaded on Twitter and in general. Everyone, or many, not all my followers for example, but many people were extremely bullish. I had a discussion with one guy, his name is JPP for example, and he was calling to his followers to go long just before we nuked. He was saying everyone was shorting and it's time to long. What? We at the same time I just had this discussion and tweeted with him, and I showed him, hey buddy, you are absolutely wrong, because at least on Binance, and we all know that Binance is one of the market drivers just because of its liquidity, I said we have much more longs there than shorts. And he was making some jokes, but then he said, no, we have much more longs. In the last hour, we received much more shorts than longs. Who cares about in the last hour? I mean, exchanges just care about their balances. If they see, for example, they have 1.6 billion versus 780 millions, at the same time, you have miners that they need to pay their bill and they like to sell the local top. That's also what happened. For example, we will take a look. It's obvious what will happen next. It's absolutely obvious. And then you have people like this guy JPP just calling his followers to go long, and you say, okay, I don't know what's wrong with you, but at least your followers are much more wrong than you, because they are following you. Wow. But yes, that's what happened. At least high leverage, everyone longing, and of course that triggers a cascade. That's something, that's nothing new, right? So in my opinion, as long we maintain with such a long short ratio, we will go more down. That's in my opinion absolutely sure that will happen. Absolutely. However, we will see. The weekend is always, like Forrest Gump would say, a candy box. You never know what's going to happen next, and that's why I have stopped to trade weekends. Even I'm at the moment longing, but to be honest, I would like just to close my long and to enjoy my weekend and stay away, because weekend trades with crypto doesn't make any sense in my opinion. It's just, yeah, they can do whatever they want. Pump, dump, pump, dump. That's all the time. So we will see. It seems I still need another or it looks like, oh, now it works. That's FTX at least. As we can see, wow, look that. I mean, a lot, at least, oh yes, a lot of shorts at almost 24k. The question is if we can go that much. I don't think so, because as mentioned, long short ratio, I don't think Binance is going just to give away some money, but we will see. Maybe they will surprise us. Oh yeah, that correlates very well even with Binance here indicating, and that's huge. That's actually huge. We are talking about liquidation volume of 100 millions, but at almost 24k. While, and that's something that's surprising me, we don't have big long liquidation clusters here. That's really surprising me. Well, that's it. I would say let us take maybe a quick look to the miners, and we can see what happened. I was mentioning that the volume was lifting up, indicating that miners were just trying to, um, to distribute. I mean, they did it here as well, and as you see, they just usually, and that's a pattern on miners. They accumulate and they wait for the local top, and then they start to sell. So, in my opinion, this one wasn't completely triggered by miners, or at least it was maybe triggered by miners, but not driven completely by miners, because the volume wasn't big enough. And in my opinion, it was a combination of different actors with this with same interest. Miners just to sell and to pay their bills, of course, using the opportunity of a local top. And I don't have any proof, but exchanges, because of high leverage positions, waiting for another push up and a lot of longs. I mean, we still have a lot of longs, almost 1 billion more than shorts. And that's a very weak and very bad combination. I think that's what happened just in the last few days. However, we need to be careful and still wait what's going to happen next. So let us check now very quick what's happening here to options. We have a put wall at 20k, the next bigger one would be at 21k. On the call side, 22 and 25. So nothing has changed. The GAX is declining hard, so it's indicating minus 7,000. Give us more the opportunity to the upside instead of the downside, but again, we have here different actors with different interests. We have option traders, we have future traders, we have whales, we have exchanges, and so on and so forth. So, yeah, in my opinion, as we didn't notice big put trades in the last few days, in my opinion, and I had a nice chat with George Beckwitz about that, and he matches, or at least it matches to my opinion as well, that it wasn't driven by big whales, at least related to option trading, because we didn't see any big bearish option trade before. Something that we had, for example, in June. Many remember when we were just analyzing the option market and puts came in, and George just told me, wow, be careful because implied volatility, because it's overloaded with puts. Usually the market maker will do exactly the opposite just to stabilize the market, and it happened. It's not the case right now. It's absolutely not the case. I mean, now we have reverse put calendar, 880,000. Okay, that's big. We will check. At least on, that's right now premium USD. Long risk reversal, almost 500,000. And that's it. I mean, bull call spread, 80, nobody cares. Long straddle, we know, nobody cares, 50,000. Let us check notional. Notional, almost 9.5 million on long risk reversal. Bull call spread 5.9 million, reverse put calendar 2.7 million. So in that case, even long risk reversal is much more interesting than the reverse put calendar. We will check it, all three, because it's not a lot. Bull call spread even with 5.9 million. So let us go forward. So let us start with the bull call spread, for example. As just mentioned before, we can take a look. I mean, 20th, 19th, that's fine. What's the bull call spread? Well, many know the bull call spread is just a trade that where, for example, the trader is just expecting low volatility, a gradual price rise, so nothing big. It's a little bit more bullish than bearish, but really absolutely nothing. This just to generate the maximum profit, for example, it has to or just sorry just to generate the maximum profit, the Bitcoin price has to be at or above the strike price of the short call at expiration, above. So that means they are expecting here, for example, until end of August 25, 23, 23, 23, 22, 500, and so on and so forth. So it's indicating also here in that case that they are not really expecting to see new lows, at least this one here. Okay, I mean, that's really low volume. Let us take a look, one that we can take very serious. For example, this one. Okay, that's for September 2nd, above of 23k. So it doesn't look really bearish at the moment, to be honest. And I'm bearish, but yeah, it is what it is. Reverse put calendar and long risk reversal. Let us check the reverse put calendar. Also something that's not really indicating nothing that's extremely bearish, to be honest, because usually the reverse calendars put spread, for example, Investopedia just have a different title or name for that strategy, but it's exactly the same. And usually they are expecting such kind of price move. Okay, that's what they use, for example, when they use the reverse calendar spread, because it's most profitable when the underlying asset, so in that case, Bitcoin makes a significant move in either direction before the near month option expires. We have the call version. Right now we are talking about the put version, and this strategy has a completely focus on puts. As a reverse calendar spread, it will buy puts in the near term and sell puts with a longer term expiration. It seeks to benefit from rising prices, so indicating a price hitting to 28k. Crazy? Yes, it is crazy. It is crazy, absolutely. But that's what they are trading. I mean, I wouldn't trade what these guys are trading, to be honest, because nobody knows who is behind. That's nothing huge in volume. Even we can see here, it's, we are talking here almost about $700,000. I mean, that's not peanuts, but they bought for 341, they sold for 342, so it's a neutralized trade. So it's nothing big, nothing where I would say, woo, we need to be very careful. I'm not sure if that's the same guy, but however, also here he paid less for the new expiration, for example, the near term one, and he sold for more for the September one. Let us go to the long risk reversal as next one, and let us check what's happening here, because usually the long risk reversal is a strategy that you use when you are bullish on the market but uncertain about volatility. Usually it's a position initiated as follow up to another strategy, and the profit increases for the trader as market rises above the long call price. Okay, so if we take a look, for example, we can see, let me check. We are talking about here, for example, 23, 24, 23. So it's also something that's not bearish, and it's completely different to June. It's completely different. It's pain in the ass that Inspo right now is not that bearish like it was before, because I was expecting some reaction by option traders. Not happening. Absolutely not happening. And don't forget, you remember that miners are using option trades just to make money. That's an article we have seen. I think it was Protos 2 months ago. It was very interesting, and so we need to be very, very careful what's happening. I mean, weekend, it's always the same, but however, we are done here and we are going directly to the market driver. So let us see what they are doing, and look that. They are now, right now, trying to push down while they're now buying again. If we check what they are doing, we can make such, it's at the moment retesting just the lower trend line. If we have a break here, it's obvious we will go down again, hitting 21k. So we need to be very careful what's going to happen. In my opinion, they will not break, not yet, in my opinion, but we will see. They just want to generate some stress, some fear, they just want to get your shorts. But we will see. I really, at the moment, I'm hedging right now. I have started to hedge, so I placed a short right now. To be honest, I felt in love with Bitget. I never have traded on Bitget, but hedging works extremely good. Even something trailing stops, for example, I was missing all that things on KuCoin, or just just to have futures, isolated futures or cross margin futures, everything, all these things I missed on KuCoin, and something that Bitget is offering, and I really like what this exchange is doing. I know some of you would say, come on, Inspo is now beers promoting Bitget. Yeah, you can think about that, but I'm receiving a lot of offers every day since a while from different exchanges. I really, even Bitget was trying to make a cooperation with me since, that's now a few months ago. I never replied. I was ignoring their request, and just to see. I really like this exchange. It makes really, yeah, I like that. Just related to futures, it's in my opinion the best experience I have did since a while. Even better than Binance in my opinion. However, so what they are doing, if we go and take a look to the 30 minutes, we will see they are starting, not really, they are not doing anything. At least on FTX, absolutely nothing. They, well, a little bit accumulation, but really, really low volume, so nothing. If we check, for example, here the aggregated, it's indicating they started to buy, they started to accumulate. Even here, for example, that's Bitcoin collateral futures and even stablecoin futures. So everything looks like they are starting to lift up. Let us check. That's Binance. Binance, nothing big. They started here and they reduced their negative CBD, but also here absolutely nothing big. Bitfinex, let us check Bitfinex. Look that. Oh, wow. I mean, Bitfinex, it's not huge, but it's a CBD indicating here just almost 1,700 bitcoins in CBD. That's not low. Of course, Coinbase, we can skip it because it's always the same, right? They started to buy here even bigger, at least it looks like, but they were buying all the time, all the time, all the time, and now even bigger. So yeah, we need to be very careful here what they are doing. So it wouldn't surprise me to go just again a little bit lower, maybe even make such kind of double bottom or something, but that's it. I mean, we need to see. We really need to see what's going to happen there. Let us go forward and check what entities are doing. Retailers. Oh, okay, they accumulated again a little bit. Shrimps following, but stabilized. This one started to lift up, rise their balances, very nice, but also not that big. No, almost 20,000. These guys here, let us see. Oh, nothing, nothing, just few thousand, so really nothing. And market maker declined again. It's back to 4,920,000. And this guy's lifted up, but as we don't know what's behind, I mean, those entities are mainly related to exchanges, so it's not really, it doesn't give us any kind of really useful information in my opinion. And that's it. We can take a look, for example, what what these guys are doing. The market maker is now very quiet, not doing anything. Even here you see that the volume declined a lot, but that's the weekend effect. That's it. Let us go forward. So let us see what's happening here on Coinbase. Well, first of all, we just absorbed some buy orders, or we triggered those buy orders, and right now we are maintaining here. We can see if we reduce a little bit, they are trying to push the price more up while maintaining the control. That's what's happening, at least. So we have sell orders here, buy orders here, and we have a limitation here at 22,200. The next bigger wall would be at 20,000 as the maximum. Let us go forward. Deribit perpetual, also here at 23k, waiting a lot of different walls here, 22,400 and so on. You remember I have mentioned they removed their walls, so it wasn't a big coincidence that they started to nuke afterwards. If we check Bitstamp, nothing of Bitstamp, at least nothing on the on upper areas, more in the lower areas. We check, for example, here on Binance Spot, and Binance Spot I have mentioned just before. They are waiting here at 21,600 and another wall here 22k. Otherwise, they are waiting here at 20,500. So 20,500 would be the next big challenge. If we really break this one, wow, then we will go down and maybe even make new lows. So as long we maintain that area here, everything is relatively fine. So we need to see what's going to happen next. I can imagine we go up, and then again down to retest that area here, but we will see. Today's analysis, I'm not going to provide any kind of personal conclusions, just, because it, in my opinion, doesn't make any big sense to do it, because it's weekend. It really does make any sense. Bitfinex Spot, nothing. They also here, they didn't trigger this buy order. Instead, they removed the wall like this one, and they are waiting at 20k. FTX Perp, look, a lot of different walls at 20k. The next bigger one would be at 18.6. We need to be careful with spoofing and FTX. They removed the wall at 20,400. We triggered the buy order at 20,800. So usually they want to go up to distribute. At the moment they are waiting here. They don't want to let the price go up. That's what they are doing, at the same time holding the price. However, the next bigger wall would be at 21,800. They removed a wall at 22,400 and instead they placed another one, a bigger one, at 22,500. That matches very well to what Binance is doing. Kraken wall, Kraken not doing anything, just waiting at 19.5 or 19. BitMEX 23,700, and that's it. Binance Futures also waiting at 22k. Here bigger wall at 21.6 and even 21,500. And to the downside 20,500 and 20,000. Look, they removed here all these walls. Okay, that's also very interesting what they are doing. Kraken Futures pushing more to the upside, it seems. And FTX Spot, nothing. No, not really. Sell orders here, but not sure if that's the usual algo stuff, to be honest. So also here absolutely nothing, and that's it for today. So I will close this session because I would like to upload everything. Otherwise it's going to be a challenge to give you the opportunity to watch this analysis and then to make some marks, or just to place your questions afterwards. We will see us in a little bit more than 2 hours when I'm going to provide you the Q&A live stream. I look forward. Big love, your Inspo. See you later. Bye bye.